Hi, I'm Shayna, and I'm back with another review for Family or Fiancé Season 3, Episode 2. I'm drinking hot tea on this cold Saturday, August night. And one thing I want to tell y'all, I'm going to give y'all a new hairstyle every review. Every review, I got something different going on with my hair. So if you check out my previous reviews, I have a different look every time. I usually look a mess, but I look different every time. So let's get into it. We have Donzella and Paul. Paul is a retired entertainment and corporate attorney. Donzella wanted help in the entertainment industry when they met. That's how they met. They've been together 4.5 years. She doesn't feel accepted by his family. And Paul said his 3 sisters are coming, and they have not been together in the same room, all 4 of them, in the last 10 to 12 years. So he has a strained relationship with his sisters. They meet with Tracy. They do the typical intro. They look around the house. Everything looks great. And then they have their very first therapy session with Tracy. Donzella said that she wanted to be on TV. And that's why she was introduced to Paul. She said her ex-husband is the one who mentioned Paul to begin with. And she was married when they met, and Paul was also married when they met. They spent a lot of time alone together for business, and that's how the relationship picked up. But they insist that they were not cheating, and they didn't get together until they got their divorces. But there seems to be some type of overlap between when the relationship started versus when the marriages actually ended. And Tracy calls them out on this in the session as well. Now, Donzella's son, Justin, her nephew, Devin, and her friend are all coming. Her friend's name is Shelly. And then we have Paul's sisters, Alexis, Miranda, and Demetrius. Donzella believes that her family just wants her to be happy, and that's why they're coming to the house for the 3 days to get the approval and give blessings. So we go into the next scene. Paul's sisters arrive first. Alexis confirms in the confessional that they were allegedly engaging in adultery when they got together. She didn't hug Donzella when she came into the house. Everyone kind of gave Donzella a hug, and she gave her a handshake and kept it moving. Now, Donzella's family arrives, and her son was in the confessional saying they're close, but he wishes they were closer. So the family sit down on the couch. They state their concerns. Overall, they just want to make sure that they're very serious about their union and that they are in this for the long haul. Alexis states she wants an apology for being used as a pawn, basically so that Paul can sneak out with Donzella and, we're assuming, cheat on his wife. She's making it clear that he was using her because he stated Alexis was staying in the home with him and his ex-wife, and he would say things like, oh, I'm doing things with my sister, and that was his excuse to get out of the house and creep over there with Donzella. And Donzella becomes defensive because she's saying, why do I owe you an apology? Now, in this moment, I'm thinking maybe she just wants an apology from her brother, not necessarily Donzella, but we have to keep watching to see what she's really looking for. The couple have the same task. Both of their tasks is a relationship timeline. And this is where it gets interesting because the timeline isn't adding up and it's not matching at all. So the questions I'm going to go down in the order. And the first one is where they first met, when they first met. Paul says April 2014. Donzella says June 2016. So that's a 2-year gap. Already somebody's lying. Then they say when they became friends. Paul says November 2015. Donzella says June 2016. Same month they met, they became friends, according to her, a year after he claims they met. When they separated from their ex-spouses and moved out of the home, he said March 2016. She said July 2017. When they began dating and became intimate, he said November 2018. She said either August or September of 2017. When they got divorced, he said, oh, I got divorced way after she did. She got divorced way before me. He said he got divorced October 2017 or 2018. So now we're not sure of the year. She said she got divorced October 2018. He said they got engaged February 2020. She said November 2020. So there was a lot of guessing going on. They were unsure of the dates, the times. And from what I'm seeing here, none of the timelines match up. The only thing that's even coming possibly close is when they got divorced. But even still, it's not adding up because he said that he got divorced way after she did. But he said October 2017 or 18. So that's the very same time frame. Alexis and Donzella get into a bit of a heated exchange afterwards because Alexis is not communicating with her. She has no interest. She said she already knows that she's pretty sure of their timeline. So she has no reason to even sit here and entertain this because she doesn't believe her. That's what she said in the confessional. And so Donzella is asking her, why do you feel you need an apology? I don't understand why. It's getting a little intense. So Alexis is walking away, and then she comes back out and says, what happened with that picture where, you know, you basically had part of your cleavage, you know, your body parts were hanging out. It was a naked photo, and he was in the picture. And she confirmed they were both still married at the time. So that right there is already saying something, because if you were just friends and it was a business relationship, why on earth would you be taking a picture nude with this man? And how come everybody saw the picture? I don't, like, why is everybody in his phone looking at this picture? I found that odd. So everyone comes together for the first dinner. Shelly says she feels better about the timeline. She says she feels like she has a better understanding. She had no knowledge of anything about their relationship prior to, and no relationship with him. She's just there for the ride, which is her friend. Donzella wants to know why Alexis walked away earlier, and she's still uncertain as to why she wants an apology. Alexis continues to ignore her. She don't see it for her. She has no words for her and wants nothing to do with her. So Paul said that his sister is not there. She's not trying to heal because she's not communicating. The other two sisters get defensive. They start defending their sister Alexis because they're saying if she doesn't want to talk, she does not have to talk. Stop trying to force her to talk. I actually agree with everyone else. If you didn't come to try to communicate and talk things out and hash things out, why are you there? There's no reason for you to be there if you don't want to have a conversation. If you are stuck in your ways and you feel how you feel, then you shouldn't have come. You said you come for your brother, but your brother is getting married to this woman, so you should be supportive in that way and at least have a conversation with her. But I understand why she's on the defense. She's already had ill feelings from the start. It looks like as we got into it, Donzella's son is saying, you know, y'all are jealous of my mom. Y'all seem, you know, maybe they're intimidated by her. They don't pay him any mind. They just disregard him and they move on. Demetrius walks off at the end of the conversation crying, and the sisters went into their room later that night and said, your sister is crying. She came for you and you didn't even go check on her. So they're feeling the ways about that. We get into day 2, and Paul's sisters greeted him, but they completely ignored Donzella in the kitchen in the morning. Donzella and Paul go off to have their second therapy session with Tracy. Tracy asks what happened the night before, and she explains to them that just because you weren't intimate does not mean you weren't cheating. You can cheat without being intimate and getting physical, having physical intimacy with each other. There's other ways to cheat. You can cheat emotionally. Once you already stepped out and decided to do things like take new pictures together, you've crossed those boundaries and you've crossed the line. And she explained, how would you feel if your spouse were to do something like that? How would that make you feel? It wasn't wrong. You know, they try to explain what went on with it. Paul showed Tracy the picture. That's when she explained that they were wrong for what they were doing. And she just wants them to admit it. And Donzella was backsliding. Tracy did not let up. She had her foot on her neck. And she said, look, you just said one thing a second ago. You're saying something else now. What's it going to be? Can we admit that Alexis does have a point and that her points are valid? Donzella admits, yes, she does have a point. So Tracy's saying that Paul needs to sit down with his sisters and they're going to meet with a psychologist later on so they can begin to discuss their issues with their brother, because that's truly why they came, because of their strained relationship with him. So Paul and his sisters meet. They meet with Dr. Romani, and Paul takes some accountability for cheating on his ex. He's saying the timeline. He knows they're unhappy with it, and he knows now after talking to Tracy that yes, there's other ways to cheat besides physical intimacy. Alexis explains to him why she wanted the apology, because she was used in the midst of his scandal with Donzella while she was living in the home with the ex-wife. He apologizes for that, and she accepts his apology. That's all she was really looking for at the end of the day. She just wanted to hear her brother apologize for that, because it was wrong. The psychologist explains that he needs to make time for his sisters, and if he's going to be getting married, that his wife, if he chooses to go forward with the marriage with Donzella, she's going to have to put her big girl panties on and just accept that even if they don't like her, that she's going to have to be around them at some point. She is going to have to be around them at some point. And I think he also needs to have his own relationship outside of Donzella. Just because you're having an event or a function, you don't always have to bring her. You need to really repair that relationship with your sisters on a one-on-one level as well. So I think there should be a bit of both to get to the bonding and the healing. We get on to the family's meeting for dinner again. Donzella explains that a text Alexis sent in the past where she called her a degrading name really hurt her. Alexis said, I would never use that word, so it's not true. I didn't say it. No, she's firm on it. She said she also said it in the meeting with Dr. Romani, that she didn't say such a thing, when Paul tried to explain that text message hurt Donzella. So she's reiterating that, yes, she did say it. Alexis is saying, no, she didn't. You know, there's still some tension, and they're feeling like they're not going to get the blessings at this point. They're hoping that they can move forward, but there's just a lot of hurt going on because of the overlap of the marriages and the new relationship. So we get to day 3. Alexis went through her text messages, and she realizes that she did, in fact, call her the degrading name. So she's saying, you know, I did do it. She tells her sister, Demetrius, that she did it. So she decides to be the bigger person. She admits her wrongdoing, and she pulls Donzella to the side. She has a conversation with her outside and tells her, yes, I went through my phone. I was wrong. I didn't even realize or remember doing this, and I apologize, and I want to move forward. Donzella's happy. She accepts the apology, and they both agree to just start fresh and start anew. So the couple has a final meeting with Tracy. Paul is once again making it known that he does want to keep the relationship with his sisters. He wants to work on building it and continue to have contact with them going forward. And Donzella is happy to say that she got the apology. She actually is the one that got an apology from Alexis because of the name calling, and that they both agreed to start fresh. And that's what she really is looking forward to doing. So they had the blessing ceremonies. Everybody gave their blessing except Demetrius. She said the jury's still out on it. It's only been 2 days, and I haven't really had enough time to make a decision. I need more time. I like that there was some honesty. It does rub me a little bit of the wrong way when they sit down and they have these deliberations and everyone's, oh, I give you my blessing. I see such a big change now. And it really is, because they say 3 days, but the 3rd day you're making a decision. So it's only 2 days. So yes, we do need, if there's a lot of hurt like this, and it's been years of it, we don't know if they started dating in 2014 or 16. We don't know. So there's a lot of hurt going on and a lot of lies. And so it's going to take more time. So I appreciate the honesty. But they are happy. They got 5 out of 6 blessings. And the update was that Donzella are still happily together. Donzella and Paul, they're still happily together, and they're going to get married spring 2023 in their home. And Paul is still, he's having that relationship with his sisters just like he wanted. So he's in communication, but Alexis and Donzella have not talked, and Donzella is not interested in a relationship with her. So I'm glad, all in all, everything worked out. Sometimes people just don't get along. As long as you're able to respect each other when you are around each other, that's what matters at the end of the day. You don't have to like each other and be friends, but be respectful and come together, because for the sake of Paul, you both love him. So for that alone, you should come together and try to be present in his life when there's a time for a family reunion, Thanksgiving, whatever that may be. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And if you like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm new and growing my channel, so please be sure to subscribe and like the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.